if you look at from our side, we are ready to give a loan, obviously if there's a demand. But however, the credit screening will be much more tougher, obviously, because we will look at the steady income coming in, and we will also consider certain industries who are at risk, who will have re-employability, because we are looking at a mid to long term repayment of the loan. So those conditions, those boxes have to be ticked, and we will look at that in a very, how do I say, very deep manner, so that we assess the credit better.
Hi guys, we're back with another episode with one-on-one with Asanka on Yes 101. Today we're speaking to Gamika De Silva, Head of Marketing and Sales at Ceylon Bank, and we hope to speak to him about the current situation, how it affects banking, what you should do if you have personal loans or home loans, how will they be rescheduled, banking matters in general. So thank you for joining us, Gamika.
Asanka, thank you.
We know it's a busy time and it's a tough time to be also sacrificing time from work to
Very
be
much,
on an interview.
Yeah.
To start off things, is money safer than plastic money, as in credit cards, or what would you encourage people to use more? Cash?
See, considering the health situation in the country, I would recommend to go on more driven payments. I mean, like, whether you can do it online or through a card, etc., rather than using cash. But having said that, looking at practicality, people need cash. There are so many vendors who are accepting cash at this time.
And cash only, right?
Yeah. And cash only. So as a bank also, we have taken a lot of steps to educate vendors, to give them mobile POS machines, etc.
Okay.
But still, there will be a percentage who will use cash. So we cannot completely eradicate that.
Okay. In a common man's terms, what does recession mean, and how does that affect both you as bankers and us as consumers?
Yeah, so recession in a very general term, it means like, halt of economic activities. If you put it in other words, your production stops, your economic activity stops, job security, money circulation, production, all that comes to a standstill or a very slow growth. So therefore, people, even if you have money, there are no services or goods to buy. So that's an impact, demand and supply imbalance which happens. So how it will impact you, me and the rest of the market is, we will strive to look at things to buy, your necessities needs to be bought, and also on the other side the job security comes into problem. Correct. So your income will be a problem. Even the small businesses, entrepreneurs, they will have a problem coming in. Interest rates tend to fluctuate, so these are the impacts that you'll have on a recession.
Okay. Gamika, also what happens to interest rates specifically during the period of recession? Like, can you tell us, like, what is going to happen in the future? Are you going to completely cut down? Or have you guys received a directive from the central bank yet? What is the process?
Still, we have not got a direction, but in usual terms, in a recession time, there's demand for liquidity. People need cash in their hand. So there is a tendency that the banks will increase interest rates in the savings, and there is a halt in terms of the loans being given. So there is tendency towards the interest going up in both lending and deposits. But as economic control, usually a central bank, a governing body, will lower the interest rate to control the economic conditions. So far we have not had an impact on the interest rates at this moment, but obviously with the way things are going, there will be directions coming from the central bank where we as bankers has to adhere and support the market to manage the economic conditions in the country.
Okay, just to sidetrack from all of this, to ask maybe perhaps a general question, hypothesizing 5 months from now, hopefully God willing everything's sorted, we found a cure and a vaccine. When will we get to a position where, let's say, I can apply for a vehicle leasing facility or a home loan? Because this is also a question that's on a lot of people's minds, because we hear people saying, thank God, Machan, I have managed to apply for my loan like 3 months ago. I got it expedited and got it approved. But now, where does this stand? And as I asked you earlier, what is the process going to be in the future?
See, I'll first answer from a banker's point of view and then go to the market point of view. If you look at from our side, we are ready to give a loan, obviously if there's a demand. But however, the credit screening will be much more tougher, obviously,
Yeah.
because we will look at the steady income coming in, and we will also consider certain industries who are at risk, who will have re-employability, because we are looking at a mid to long term repayment of the loan. So those conditions, those boxes have to be ticked, and we will look at that in a very, how do I say, very deep manner, so that we assess the credit better.
Okay.
That's a tough one. But then again, on the other side, if you look at the market conditions, when this will be over, when things get back to normal, which I don't know, your guess is as good as mine, where people will have a vehicle to buy or a loan to buy, mortgage, etc. That I do not know. But if there's a demand, if people seek for a loan, we are ready to give, but there will be tougher conditions. I mean, I remember a year back, when things were bad on Easter tax, we had to reconsider on some of the industries, and we had to reschedule and restructure certain loans that we give it to those industries. So similar things will apply. I mean, I have seen so many messages going across. Some of the industries are cutting down on allowances, etc., etc. So we need to factor that in. If you had considered your variable income as a part of your total income, now we may have to reduce the score in that and give higher weightage to your permanent income. Employability is another question. So these are tough conditions as a market, as a banker, that we need to manage. But certainly we as bankers, we are looking at possibilities how we can support the market and our customers at this time.
Let's quickly ask you about define the term moratorium, and how is it going to affect us regular good citizens of this country.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, putting in simple terms, there are certain industries and categories that we are looking at giving a moratorium, obviously with the direction of Central Bank of Sri Lanka, which means that you withhold collecting your interest rate and your recovery of the loan being withheld for a certain period of time. Also, on the other side, there are banks who are working on restructuring your loan. So you're giving additional periods, so easing off the burden on you as an individual who needs to pay loans. So these are the two different ways of applying that.
Okay. So does that mean that it doesn't mean that someone is taking a good portion of what you're supposed to pay for the bank and saying, okay, now we understand that you can't pay this, you lost your job, we'll take this burden on as a bank. It's not that. It's not just the interest portion itself, isn't it?
So I mean, it's a restructuring of your existing loan, and how we can support the industry because there's a cash flow issue right now, and we understand in that we need to restructure. Obviously, the bank will have a hit on this, and from the bank's point of view, your stakeholders will also look at in terms of your cash flows and the bottom line, etc. But managing both sides, the bank's interest as well as the consumer's interest, because these are pressing time for everyone. How do we ease off in terms of your payment terms? It's not completely letting it go, but giving them a breathing space so that it can bounce back. Obviously, I mean, 3 months, 5 months down the line, we need to relook at the market situation and how the economic cycle is going to work, and then reapply or readjust what you need to do on these terms.
Okay, so in the shorter period, I suppose there was some information circulating that banks are offering you guys its customers and consumers a grace period to pay back their loans and their car leases and their mortgages. Is there a deadline for this when it comes to you guys? How does it work?
So the deadline is 30th April. We have been announcing this from beginning of April, that the customers need to write to us either through our website. We have given a special form that they can submit, or through an email or a written request to the branch manager. So all those requests have been collected. Now the teams are really busy, analyzing them and doing that necessary work so that we can apply that. I mean, just few days more. If you do have a loan that you are struggling to pay, you need to request your branch manager or the relevant bank, giving reasonable, background of why you cannot pay immediately, so that they will come back to you with a solution how to restructure or give you a breathing space in terms of your loan.
All right, Gamika hails from a big marketing background, so let's ask him during a period of such turmoil, what is the role of a marketer and how do you market your products and services? I guess this is very important if you are also employed in the banking sector or in any other sector. How does one break through and make sure that they have, number one, they hold on to their jobs, number two, they meet their targets and rise together?
Yeah, I mean that's a big challenge. I mean massive challenge. We have not faced. During my experience or 2 decades of marketing, I have not faced a situation like this. But what I believe is at a downturn, all the marketers, they need to put their effort on research and development. Put effort in building your brand. It's not what I meant by shying down your product and services down the throat of the consumer. No,
Yeah.
your brand has to be relevant. Your brand needs to empathize with the situation and the consumer, and also your brand has to be active. The people, when you're after this period, people will remember the brand, remember not what you told them but how you felt about them at that time and how you been with them. And obviously, I mean, your channel selection, the way you market it has to be changed. You need to optimize the channels, you need to optimize your budgets. The first thing that you get a knock in terms of your budget from the company at this time is your marketing budget.
Yeah.
So how do you optimize and keep the brand alive also? So to all those marketers who are out there, what I say is like, be relevant, empathize towards your customer, and be active. And look at ways and means that you can market better, because when the time comes to a crunch and when your backs against the wall, then you actually innovate stuff and then you do something different. And this is how a lot of success stories have come out. So I think it's a testing time. You test out certain things and we always keep the customer in mind and be empathetic towards the situation.
All right, your final thoughts on the current situation, and what is your advice to the listeners and the viewers of Yes 101 who's on our program right now?
Yeah, so in a general point of view, the lifestyle, you need to relook at your lifestyles. I mean,
That's a very good point actually. I think a lot of people have forgotten the fact that, okay, everyone's understood that, true enough, we are going through pay cuts and budget reductions and things like that, but we are trying our level best to still hold on to the little luxuries that we have. It may be completely, it could be as small as ordering your favorite food from a local joint, or it could be, I don't know, new tires for your car. Like how does one manage this?
So, I mean, in rule of thumb, during a period like this, first of all, you need to pay off your high cost debts. Try to get it off, get off the burden. Let's say if your credit card is like in high interest, get rid of that so that your burden is eased off. And prioritize in terms of your liquidity. Have some long haul savings working on. Look at the basics of your lifestyle. Prioritize them in terms of what you really necessarily need. Try not to be lavish. And stick to the basics of the. If you look at the Maslow's hierarchy, your security, physical needs, and all that. Prioritize that. You need to eat. You need to live healthy, and you need some money for your health as well. So prioritizing that, you need to sort of adjust your lifestyle accordingly. I mean, most of us are locked down at home. Some people cannot walk out from the home. So adjust your lifestyle, and also importantly, engage your time in terms of getting a new skill, improve your knowledge. I mean, this will come handy soon after the recession. There will be a boom happening. So at that point, are you skillful enough to be re-employed, or are you going to just rut by not doing anything? So that's the important thing that I would want to probably tell the viewers.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much, Gamika, for joining us. It has been a pleasure talking to you, and we hope that everything works out both for you and for us.
Absolutely. Stay safe.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining our one-on-one program on Yes 101. I am Asanka. This is Gamika. Ta-da.
Thank you.
Generation Yes.